there's this, I haven't seen this ad before. There's two entrances to Broadway Station. There's this one and there's that one. And that one, this is a garbage can. That's the one that has the alcohol ad. And then this one across the street, I don't think I've ever seen it before, the ad on that garbage can. I think that might be new. Alright, so 12208. This car just drove past me. 50 runs in a day. Actually, it says 50 runs in a day, and then it says really. And I just don't remember seeing that ad before, but a few days ago, I think it was Friday night. I ate a lot on Friday, and Friday night I was kind of like at the shelter and had some junk food and had already kind of eaten a lot that day, and so I was like, I really didn't feel all that great. And so the next day I was like, what do I do about this? And On the Rise was closed, so I couldn't go there for lunch, so I actually had to kind of choose my own lunch. Oh great, Ninja Engineering is still stocking me. So there's these like fruit juice drinks that I wasn't even really that hungry. I knew I had to eat something, but I was like, I didn't want to eat a lot because I had eaten a lot the day before. And I right now I'm using like a food food app, like a food journal app. I started using them last year. D36ESG, TOM3940. Yeah, I started using a food app last year on my phone because being homeless, you don't really tend to be able to choose what you eat that much. Like when I started getting Social Security benefits, which I did not want to have to do, which I eventually had to do, EFJ2081, which I eventually had to do just to have any money at all. I lost most of my food stamps. So my food stamps went from $200 a month to $16 a month. That's what happens. That's what happens to everybody. If you start getting benefits, like the actual money benefits, then you lose almost all your food stamps. So, and I haven't even bothered to get the food stamps renewed. I mean, it's $16. I probably should, but I just haven't. So I have to, and most of my money is taken up, most of the money I get every month is taken up in bills anyway. My storage, my phone, my student loans, my transportation, the gym. It's more than $500 a month that I'm just paying immediately out to bills every single month. So I have about not quite $250 at the end of at the very beginning of the month after having paid all my bills. So I can't really spend a lot of money on food. I have to just kind of choose what's around. And there just aren't as many options for like fruits and vegetables, that kind of thing. There's a lot of starch, there's a lot of meat. There's some, dairy, that kind of thing. Which I don't mind those things. There's a lot of dessert. So I mean, used to being able to kind of eat whatever's around me because I don't tend to keep a lot of junk food around me. But since I'm not in control of what's around me in terms of like the food that's offered, that habit of just kind of eating whatever I feel like is not really helping me out that much. And it was like this actually before, from 2011, 2013. I think by the time I had gotten my apartment, I think I probably weighed 5 or 6 or a few more pounds more than I usually would. And then by the time that I left, when I was in my apartment, I could control what I got for food, right? And then by the time that I left it, R63887, I lost some weight. But I'm not so much concerned about my weight. I mean, my weight, I guess I'm about 130 right now. And I'd rather be maybe 125, something like that. So I'm kind of going for that. But yeah, I use the food app not just to, just to kind of keep track of what I'm doing, to try to make sure that I'm not eating too much. Also to try to make sure I'm not eating too little, just to kind of have like an accurate view of what I'm doing. And it also calculates like your exercise and that kind of thing. So anyway, this past Friday night I had eaten a lot, and so Saturday I wondered what I was like, oh, I feel so bad. And there are these fruit drinks that I really like a lot. I used to get them pretty frequently when I had food stamps and was living in the shelter before. And I don't get them that often because they're kind of expensive. And they are really good for you. They have like tons and tons and tons of vitamins in them. Of course, the company has created packaging and new products to try to make me feel bad. Ever since it got to be kind of known by them, I suppose noticed by other people that I would buy them. Although I never really advertised about them, they just know that I bought them. So 2TY477. So they create defensive advertising, but some of the products are the same, so I get them when I can, that kind of thing. but I also knew that it would be like it would be good for me, and I would probably feel better, you know, if I had that. I went in to get tofu. Like, I went to the supermarket to get actual tofu, but I was like, I don't even want this tofu. Even that's too much. It's too much. So, but I also knew that the fruit drink would, like, definitely, within an hour after drinking it, I would, like, need to use a restroom. And when you're homeless, you don't have the option of having any privacy at all. I mean, if I had my own place, I could have bought the juice drink, you know, decided not to go out for the rest of the day, and then like be able to go to the bathroom whenever I wanted to. But I also, you know, the shelter was closed for the day until 2 o'clock. For lunch, I had this juice drink, and then I went to Boston Sports Club, and you know, like, yeah, definitely within an hour, half an hour to an hour of like having gotten this juice drink and having most of it, I definitely used to be in the bathroom a few times. And of course, it's not the sort of thing. It's not the sort of thing you can really hide. And yet I see this thing that says 50 runs, really. And there's a couple other things I've been seeing around that make me ask again: are there cameras in the Boston Sports Club women's locker room? And I suppose, you know, if there were other women in the locker room who decided to talk about my having diarrhea, that was really unpleasant thing for them to do. You know, I'm not talking about them.